We all have that fear of being judged. But what if I told you that the intensity of that judgment is mostly a figment of your imagination? The spotlight effect makes you feel like you're being watched more closely than you are. Let's expose this psychological trickery and reclaim your peace of mind. The spotlight effect is basically when you think everyone's paying way more attention to you than they actually are. Ever felt super self-conscious about a small mistake, like stumbling over your words in a meeting or having a stain on your shirt? You might believe everyone noticed and is judging you harshly, but in reality, most people are probably too caught up in their own thoughts to even register it. Think about it, you're walking down the street and you trip slightly. Your immediate reaction might be to feel embarrassed, assuming everyone saw you. But consider how often you actually notice other people's minor stumbles. Chances are you're too busy with your own stuff to pay much attention. That's the spotlight effect in action. You overestimate your own visibility. So why does this happen? A big reason is something called egocentric bias. This means we tend to see the world from our own perspective and assume that others share that perspective. Because you're hyper-aware of your own actions and appearance, you naturally assume others are too. It's hard to truly step outside of your own head and see things from someone else's point of view. That small stumble feels huge to you, so you believe it's just as prominent to everyone else. Another factor is difficulty with perspective taking. It's tough to accurately judge what others are thinking or feeling. We often project our own emotions onto others. If you're feeling anxious and self-conscious, you might assume everyone else is noticing your anxiety and judging you for it. But they could be feeling totally different. They might not even be paying attention. The spotlight effect can really amplify feelings of anxiety, especially in social situations. You might avoid speaking up in a group, fearing you'll say something stupid and become the center of attention for all the wrong reasons. Or you might obsess over your appearance before going out, worried about every tiny flaw being magnified under an imaginary spotlight. But here's the good news. Once you understand the spotlight effect, you can start to challenge those anxious thoughts. The next time you find yourself feeling overly self-conscious, take a step back and ask yourself, is this really as big of a deal as I think it is? Are others truly paying as much attention as I believe? Try to find objective evidence. Has anyone actually said anything negative about your stumble, your stain, or whatever it is that's making you anxious? Or are you just making assumptions based on your own internal feelings? Chances are the evidence will show that your fears are overblown. You can also practice shifting your focus outward. Instead of obsessing over yourself, focus on the people around you. Engage in the conversation, listen actively, and show genuine interest in others. When you're focused on others, you have less mental energy to devote to self-criticism. Remember, everyone is primarily concerned with their own lives, their own problems, and their own appearance. They're not spending nearly as much time analyzing you as you think they are. Cut yourself some slack and allow yourself to be imperfect. It's okay to make mistakes, to have flaws, and to be a little awkward sometimes. That's what makes you human. Free yourself from the perceived judgment and live more confidently. One thing that's important to remember is that the research on the spotlight effect does have its limitations. Many studies are conducted in controlled laboratory settings, which might not perfectly reflect real-world social situations. For instance, the presence of researchers and the artificiality of the environment could influence participants' behavior and awareness. Furthermore, most studies focus on Western cultures, and it's unclear how the spotlight effect might vary across different cultural contexts, where norms around attention and social interaction could differ significantly. Future research could explore the spotlight effect in more naturalistic settings, using methods like observational studies or experience sampling to capture people's experiences in their daily lives. It would also be valuable to investigate the role of individual differences, such as personality traits and self-esteem, in moderating the spotlight effect. Understanding these nuances can help us develop more targeted strategies for managing social anxiety and improving self-perception. Also, it's important to note that there could be unresolved ethical concerns regarding research on the spotlight effect, especially in studies that involve deception or manipulation of participants' beliefs. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more psychology insights. Your support helps us create more content like this. Thanks for watching.